And so naturally the idea is for you to not have any kind of official documentation and evidence on the court record that would contradict the judge when you take your case, and I hope you do, to the appellate court.
Yes, and I have. I also would like to say that I did submit interrogatories to the court clinician, and she refused to answer them. I filed a motion saying to compel the court clinician to answer them. She would not. So she still gets up on the stand and she's allowed to testify as to what is the matter with me, which it changed from the court report to her testimony, which was based on hearsay and very judgmental. She questioned my faith. She called me irresponsible because I stayed home with my... She
questioned your faith?
My faith, yes.
What is she, what do you, I mean, who cares what you are?
But that showed bias on her part. And
so I take it, are you religious?
I am a Christian woman, and
But you're not a nutty Christian woman, I mean...
No, but my faith is a part of who I am.
What's wrong with that? I mean, isn't that kind of a violation of, well, in New Mexico, and anywhere it's, well, primarily in New Mexico, they don't really care what kind of rights you have. But in your instance, what did she say? Did she make some kind of, did she slip, you know, right now, if there was any kind of mention in that report, oh, this woman is a Christian woman, and now you're mentioning, oh, we better scrap that off, that, oh my God, the Lord forbid you're a Christian woman. Oh my, that's a sin. It's a sin to believe in God. I take it. You know, you ever wonder that we're really dealing with just evil people? This is Dale saying that. I think we're just dealing with evil bastards.
Or people that have their own agendas that really have their priorities out of whack, to be honest, rather than being biased, unbiased.
Man, are they... So you had this report, came out, and it showed that you had evidence in your favor that said that basically you were a good mom. Why weren't you seeing your children? You've been cleaned out by the court, and this has been going on since 2001. And basically, there's been all kinds of different small situations that have been going on. You at one time wanted to send one of your children to a real outstanding academic camp. And what happened there?
I had liquidated my last asset because my older son was having problems in school. He was held back in the 5th grade, and he was having problems with motivation. And so it was a $2,000 academic recreational camp, and I had wanted to send him to the camp, and my ex said, no, you can't. And I basically said, it's paid for, he's looking forward to it. And then I was told that I would be, I was threatened with a restraining order if I continued.
By who?
By his attorney.
Well, this is where, you know, these attorneys are misusing restraining orders constantly in the state of New Mexico.
And there was no grounds for not sending him. It was not out of the country, it was a paid-for camp, and my son was having problems, and that is what has been the problem, is that everything I've tried to do to help my children, it has been sabotaged. My efforts have been sabotaged by the opposing counsel.
Does the judge, what does the judge, how does the judge respond to you?
When I had presented my children's grades, it was dismissed, really. I mean, C's and D's for a high school student. As far as the judge thought, it just seemed like that was acceptable.
Well, how about this? Try this one on for size. Judge Raymond Ortiz this so-called, breath of fresh air, kind of like same kind of breath of fresh air that we're getting in national politics. But my children had missed, because at the time I hadn't seen them. I think the tune was 217 times absenteeism and truancy, and that didn't matter. Do you see where the problem is, parents and legislators and nonprofit groups? It's not with the parents. The parents are trying to get involved. But we have the judiciary, and I think a very corrupt judicial arrangement that goes on in this state that's sort of incestual and toxic and dirty and corrupt, that really your judge should have done something about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, in other words, aren't our grades not important to the judiciary? Mm-hmm. Is the absenteeism, things like that, are they not important?
Or medical reports?
Or medical reports.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you do to change the judicial system? Any suggestions? How has this affected you?
Well, it has been very stressful, to say the least, but I have persevered. That's where my faith in God comes in, that if it wasn't for that, I would probably be dead, because I have been in the hospital. I've had so many stress-related illnesses, but I am fighting for my children, and it is not over until I have exhausted every avenue, because my kids come first and they deserve better. And right now, they are not doing well.
They're suffering. Mm-hmm. And I think that these law firms that protect these parents and they mask evidence that shows that there's harm, they should be held liable and accountable to the people and probably to the criminal system. Mm-hmm. Well, you're a brave woman to me for coming on and talking about this. Let's hope that Judge Lavelle does not retaliate against you. Please let us know what happens in your case. And we're talking tonight with Brenda Brink.
Correct.
And we really appreciate you coming in. And good luck with this. I'm just sorry that you have to go through it, and how irresponsible our legislature and the judiciary are to the needs of the parents and the children in our state, and to Governor Bill Richardson, who every time you tell him, hey, Bill, this is what's going on in New Mexico. This is where you could get your butt off the seat and stop trying to run for public office and take care of your own people. Take care of New Mexico people. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's nauseous, and it's frustrating, and I think it's criminal and corrupt. So thank you so much.